Hey everyone, welcome to another Tuesday. This week we're bringing you a very serious topic. So trigger warning, we're talking about the events that happened in Orlando last weekend. You all know what I'm talking about. We're talking about the shooting at Pulse. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying that my heart really goes out to all the survivors, all the friends and family members of the victims, and really just the entire Orlando community as a whole. I really can't imagine what it's been like because I know how it's affecting myself and members of the LGBTQ community, but I really can't even fathom what it's been like for those who are more immediately impacted. I think it's pretty safe to say that this was a targeted hate crime against the LGBTQ community and or the Latina community. Now, obviously, I can't speak for either community. I'm not even a part of the Latina community, but I can speak as one single member of the LGBTQ community, and I can say that for myself and for many others as well, this really cuts deep and it kind of hits close to home. I think because our community is so close and because we all face some of the same struggles on a daily basis, that really brings us all together. And so when a tragedy like this happens, it really affects all of us on a global scale. And that's why people all over the world right now are mourning for Orlando. I'd like to think that we're making giant strides towards equality. Like finally gay people have the right to marry everywhere in the States. We're getting a lot more trans representation in the media. Gender identity and gender expression were recently added to the Canadian Human Rights Act. But obviously we still have a lot of room to grow and there's lots of progress to be made still. And this tragedy just serves as evidence of that. And, you know, we still have tons of, especially trans women of color being murdered all the time. So obviously there's still so much progress to be made. The community's reaction to this is very divided. On one side, I totally understand why many people in light of this feel very apprehensive and very scared for their LGBT identity to be visible. And for myself and many others, it's kind of a reminder of why it's so important to stay visible. Because if we allow ourselves to be silenced, we're letting oppression win, we're letting hate win, and we're letting the shooter win. And I don't want to live in a world where our differences are stifled. I want to live in a world where our differences are celebrated. But this by no means means that everybody has to be out, by the way. I mean, you do you. Like, it's so different from one person to the next, and everybody's circumstance is different. And I understand that I have a lot of privilege. I live in a very liberal city. I'm a white male. Obviously, everybody's circumstances are different, and a lot of people really benefit more from being stealth. And that's totally fine. I think that a lot of people need to be stealth and are healthier being stealth, and then a lot of people just really need to be out, and that diversity is great. I mean, ideally, we would just live in a world where nobody would have to be stealth and everybody could just be who they are without having to hide anything. But obviously that is not the case, and that is not the world that we live in. That's ideal case. That is not reality. Anyway, I don't want to ramble about this topic for too long. It's kind of one of those things that's tough to talk about and tough to hear about. So for all of our sakes, I think I'm just going to try to keep it a little brief. Just remember that it's really important that we all stick together and be there for one another and kind of stay united and strong as a community. I know this is really hard on all the people of Orlando. It's really tough on the entire LGBTQ community. It's really hard on a lot of straight cis people as well who are just really saddened and impacted by this. So to all of you, my heart goes out to you and my thoughts are with everybody. If you need to talk about things, by all means, reach out and talk to people. That's really important. And let's be there for one another. And in the words of Ellen DeGeneres, be kind to one another, right? So let's not forget the lives that were lost. They're siblings of ours from within our own community. Let's not forget the people who have lost family members, close friends, significant others. So let's just be mindful and respectful of that, and yeah, just reach out to one another. Let's all band together and rely on each other for support. I think that's really important to find support within our community and all around us. So stay banded together and have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.